Mr. President, the last speaker was the Republican senator who leads the majority in the Senate. He's talking about a bill that is pending before us, which changes the way people in America would be required to register to vote. It's a question of proving who you are and where you're from. We know historically that showing an ID is pretty common. Buy an airplane ticket, show an ID, it happens all the time. And what do we usually show? Our driver's license. It's got a picture on there and basic information to prove who you are, and it's sufficient in virtually every place in America, but not for this bill. This bill, creating a new law, says that your driver's license is not enough identification. What can you use to prove who you are and where you were born? A passport. You've heard the suggestion that obtaining a passport is rather routine. It's not routine. If you've done it, you know what I'm talking about. First, you're going to have to pay a fee for a passport, $165. You may have to wait 3-4 weeks, maybe even a month and more. So if you're trying to get a passport in time to register to vote in an election, you better think ahead a few months, and you better have the money, $165, to get the job done. There's another proof that you can make, and that is your birth certificate. But of course, that is not always easily available for everybody. Do you know where your birth certificate is? A copy that you can use? I think mine's upstairs in the closet in the bedroom. I'd have to check. I think that's where I left it, but I'm not 100% certain. Then there's a complication on the birth certificate. If you're married, woman, you may have taken his name now, and so your birth certificate doesn't reflect the name that you use legally today. Third possibility, maybe some form of ID with a photo on it. It's not clear in this bill. So you say to yourself, why would we, if we do 50 million voter registrations a year, and that's about the average, 50 million a year, why would we change all of those registrations to vote with new standards of proof? Because of the argument on the other side that there are illegal aliens voting in America. Well, they better take care if they try that. It's against the law today, without any change on the Senate floor, if you try to vote and you're not legally an American citizen. How often does it happen? Well, we're talking about 50 million registrations a year. So between the years 1999 and 2023, in that 24-year period of time, how many people who were not American citizens were actually caught trying to vote in America? 50 million a year instead of being registered. Would you guess 7 million justifies changing the law for everybody in America? No, it's not 7 million. How about 700,000 in a 24-year period of time? No, it's not 700,000. How about 70,000? No. How about 700? No. 77 people in the United States of America in a 24-year period of time tried to vote when they were not legally entitled to vote. 77 people. So the Republicans want us to change all of the laws and registration across the United States because of 77 people over a 24-year period of time. Does this sound like a crisis situation? Not to me. We have the most accurate and honest and valid voting system in the world. There's no doubt about it. Now, trying to create the impression otherwise is just plain wrong. The facts don't back you up. Then what is this all about? Why would we have to pass this bill before any other measure, any other legislation? That's what President Trump said. I won't consider anything. A proposal was brought to him to make sure that people working at the airport are paid on time. He said, not taking that up till you pass the voting bill. Why is it so important to him to change registration to vote? Because it's going to create chaos in this situation for the next election, which is only a few months away. He's worried about the outcome. Historically, the president's party doesn't do well in an off-year election. And so he's trying to find ways to diminish the number of voters in America in certain areas. It's their strategy. It's their algorithm that they're following. It doesn't make sense. We need to protect the right for legally eligible Americans to register to vote and to vote. We shouldn't have a poll tax like a new passport fee of $165 to make you eligible to go register to vote in your precinct. 50 million people a year are going to register to vote based on what we change. If it's a true constitutional challenge, if it's a true legal crisis, let's change it. But 77 in 24 years, that to me doesn't strike me as any kind of a crisis. It's a crisis that's being created by the Republican leadership to push a bill that is unnecessary. Many people fought and died for our right to vote. We shouldn't have it taken away from us because we stacked up bureaucracy in the path towards registration. That doesn't make sense. I yield the floor.